Wanted to jump on and answer a couple last second questions before Sunday. Really appreciate you guys joining me tonight. And like I said, we're going to go through everything: injuries, waivers, start, sit, trades, whatever. We got some questions on the site we can answer. But just be good to hang out, get our lineup set, talk about any moves we want to make, and chat about some football. So make sure you drop a like. Make sure, if you're not already, you are subscribed as well. We're trying to get to 15K before we get to 20K, but we appreciate you guys doing that. And you can also use this link, and if you want to submit a question on the site, you are more than welcome to do that, or you're more than welcome to drop in the chat, and I can answer some of these as well. So we'll obviously prioritize super chats, but we've got only a couple people in here right now, so we can start with you guys. Start 3 non-PPR: JT, James Cook, Brian Robinson, and ETN. So of these 3 guys here, I'm going to go with my best players and go JT, James Cook, and ETN. I will verify that with my rankings, but we have JT for the week ranked at 4, actually 3. We have James Cook ranked at 9. We have ETN ranked at 15, and we have Brian Robinson ranked at 20. And so I'm going to go best players there. I'm going to go JT, James Cook, and ETN. So appreciate you dropping a like, man. Kyler or Burrow in a full point PPR league, I'm going to go Kyler Murray. I think Kyler is a guy that you have to start now every single week, no matter what. That's just, that's my opinion, but that's how I feel like it is. So, and Sharbs or JT, I'd go JT. With Charbonnet, we had him ranked at 21. We have JT ranked quite a bit higher than that this week. So yeah, I'll go JT there for sure. Full PPR, Judy or Reed this week? I think so is Love, I guess this is a good time to look at Jordan Love's status. I think he's still a truly questionable. He is still truly questionable. And they elevated Clifford, so my guess is he doesn't play tomorrow, and that means if he doesn't, I'm probably just going to go Jerry Jeudy. We have Jeudy ranked 37. We have Jaden Reed like 3 spots ahead of him, assuming that Jordan Love plays. Now, if Jordan Love doesn't play, I would just go Jerry Jeudy there. Waffles up. Javonte in 3rd for Ramondre Stevenson. Yeah, I'm doing that for sure. Ramondre has the contract. That's not even close. Chuba, Ladd, Warren. Who do you start? Of those 3, no Herbert, you assume. Chuba and Warren, putting them up against each other in our rankings. Chuba hasn't done anything. We actually have these guys ranked in the same tier right back to back. I'm probably going to go Jaylen Warren here because Jaylen Warren has, felt like a little bit more receiving upside, and Chuba really hasn't done anything this year, so I feel like I'm going to go Jaylen Warren there. Ferguson or Goddard? I think so. We've gotten this question quite a bit. We didn't rank Fergie in our actual rankings because we didn't think he was playing. Goddard we have ranked at 10. And this is Goddard against the Saints defense, and this is Ferguson against the Ravens, obviously. And so I lean most of the time with tight ends, start your best player. However, with Goddard, you don't have A.J. Brown there, and so he's going to have an increased target opportunity. And so I think that would lead me to just go ahead and try to start Goddard this week and see if he can get a touchdown. So appreciate you, man. Flex Shaheed or Diggs considering the matchup. So Shaheed has a very good matchup. We do have Stephon Diggs ranked higher in our rankings. They are one tier. Technically, they're 2 tiers apart. I would go Diggs, personally. And again, and I want to make this clear. I can't see into the future. I'm just telling you, I have Diggs ranked higher this week, and he's also going back to Minnesota for the first time, which it's crazy he hasn't been back there yet. So my inclination is to just start Stephon Diggs where I can this week. So in terms of Jennings and Pickens, Jennings is an interesting one now because you have George Kittle out. You have Deebo Samuel out. You have Chris McCaffrey out. However, Pickens goes against the Chargers this week. Pickens we have ranked at 26. I don't think I'm ranking Juwan Jennings higher than that. So I would start your best player and I would go Pickens. Because with Juwan Jennings, I feel like his production is going to be largely dependent on whether or not he gets a touchdown. Just a gut feeling there, but we'll see. I definitely want to see how the targets play out with Juwan Jennings this week. So and the rest of the 49ers offense. So Steeler, Pickens, and flex. I would go Pickens personally until you see what the backfield split looks like for Kansas City. I don't feel like starting Pickens over Steele, even if Steele does get like, you know, the large majority of the workload. I don't feel like it's going to lose you a week. So, Diego, appreciate it, man. Half PPR, 2 wide receiver, 1 running back, or 2 wide receivers to 2 running backs, 1 flex. I'm stacked at running back with Hall, HN, K9, Brooks, and Mason. Should I send Mason for DJ Moore? Personally, I'm fine with that. I think you've got a good enough running back room to make it happen, and also you're getting a pretty good player in return with the DJ Moore. So I think you definitely want, somebody like that back, and you're getting somebody like that. So I'm good with it. Ridley or Amari, man. We have Ridley at 22. We have Amari at 21. They're in the same tier back to back for us. I think I've been telling people start Cooper. Maybe it'll bite me in the butt, but appreciate you, man. Do I trade Najee and Waddle for Rashad White and Pickens? Obvious downgrade from Waddle to Pickens there. Najee to Rashad White's an upgrade, but he's running back 2. Achan's your running back 1. My inclination is to hold. On the surface, I like getting Rashad White. However, there are a lot of people concerned about his workload and Bucky Irving and things like that. And so I feel like if you acquire Rashad White, it's going to be tough to move him. And I feel like you're acquiring him at a fairly high price with Waddle and Najee. Najee's also sucked, though. Obviously, I'd prefer Waddle over Pickens. The question is by how much? Waddle, 22. Pickens, 32. And then in terms of White and Najee, 17 versus 20. I mean, that's pretty fair, man. That's pretty fair. I think you just go with your gut. From a value standpoint, it's fair. Should I bet on Alec Pierce with another touchdown or Pickens in my flex? I would go Pickens over Alec Pierce for sure. No question for me. Appreciate you, Ryan. What's up, man? Let me know. It says message retracted, so let me know what your question is. All right. What injured players are you buying and which ones are you avoiding? Good question there. The injured guys I like A.J. Brown because I feel like it's less long-term. I like buying Tyreek Hill. I know he's not injured, but his price is decreasing because of injury. I don't like buying Puka. I don't like buying Christian McCaffrey. I do like buying Cooper Kupp. I don't like buying Pacheco. So that should probably help. I mean, I'm going based off of, Christian McCaffrey, calf injury, scared of it. Puka, knee injury. I've heard he's not going to be the same the rest of the season. Scared of it. Pacheco, 6 to 8 weeks, maybe the whole season. Scared of it. So, Kupp, A.J. Brown, shorter term, right? Do I win? And then obviously Tua's injury, but it's Tyreek Hill, and I think you're getting him at a discount, which is crazy right now. Appreciate you, Ryan. Full point PPR, should I flex? London Moss or Rashad White? So I would personally flex Drake London here, and it is a tough matchup for London. We have London ranked as our wide receiver 19 for the week. When you're looking at Zach Moss and Rashad White, we have Zach Moss ranked as our running back 27. Rashad White ranked as our running back 16 against the Broncos. So actually, it's just hard for me not to start Drake London. So I personally, if it were my team, I would go Drake London. However, I don't blame you at all if you want to go the guaranteed volume, guaranteed upside with Rashad White there because he is going to be getting carries. Now, that said, he's been wildly inefficient and hasn't been scoring touchdowns at a very high rate. So I lean London. Moss has a really good matchup this week, I guess, but we have him ranked below Rashad, so it's between London and Rashad for me. And like I said, my pick would be London, I think. You're good, man. DB, thanks for your super chat, man. Let me know what your question is. All right. Make sure you guys drop a like. Make sure if you haven't subscribed, you do. Happy to take questions. We had a super chat. I'll answer Bounty's question. Do I win this week in a 10-team PPR with Hurts, Jamar, good matchup. Nico, fine matchup. Monty, good matchup. Mason, good matchup. Andrews, tough matchup. Ayuk by himself and the Steelers defense. I mean, in a 10-team, it's a pretty solid team still. I think you've got solid matchups across the board. So I'm gonna say you're gonna win. We'll see if I'm right. Dylan in a start, 2 PPR, 2 wide receiver, 2 running back, 1 flex. Charbonnet, Neighbors, and ETN. So I'm assuming you want to flex here. And I'll rank these guys like this. Neighbors, ETN, Charbonnet. Neighbors has a tough matchup, man. We have ETN ranked at 15 and Charbonnet at 21. So we do have ETN a tier higher. So I would start ETN first. ETN, they play the Bills. It's supposed to be a fairly high-scoring game. I would go, and I guess if you wanted to go ETN, again, this is going to be like, do you want the guaranteed volume or do you want to go with the upside with Neighbors? I personally would start Neighbors in a PPR league, but definitely don't blame me if you want to go ETN as well. Neighbors is my pick. Both those guys have pretty high upside this week. So, all right, DB, appreciate it, man. Laporta and Ramondre for Kincaid and Mixon. Lateral move, I mean, you're downgrading. You're downgrading at tight end, although Laporta hasn't done anything yet. Ramondre and Mixon. Ramondre is an upgrade there. Honestly, I think I would just stay put in that trade. I don't feel like you're helping your team that much there unless you're trying to diversify out of an offense or something like that. So, running back 1 is Hall, and running back 2 is the flex I need. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So running back 2, then you go. So I personally am going ETN and Neighbors there. Sharps plays the Dolphins. It's not a bad matchup. ETN and Neighbors. I just go, when in doubt, I start my best players. And I don't think the matchup is going to totally skew the results of those guys. So there's my answer for you. Appreciate it, man. Soft Napkin 7. What's up, man? 10-team half PPR league. I get Kyler, Kamara, Dobbins. Oh, you have Kyler, Kamara, Dobbins, Hill. Okay. Nico, Marv, Neighbors, Kelsey. Okay. Moss, Eckler, BT, Ladd, Deontay, Aaron Jones. How do we feel? So I love that you have Kyler in a 10-team. Kelsey looked like a good pick, but ended up not being a super good pick. However, you do have, I'm assuming, is Hill Tyreek Hill or Justice Hill? I'm assuming it's Justice Hill. I don't know. Let me know if is it Tyreek or Justice. That changes things quite a bit. But in terms of Kamara and Dobbins, I feel pretty good about that. You clearly went no running back and went Nico, Marv, Neighbors. And also got, BTJ. You do have Aaron Jones on your bench. Okay, I'm thinking that's Tyreek Hill then. And so you clearly went heavy wide receiver here. And I really like this team, honestly. I think that you are, holding a little bit of risk rostering both Marv and Neighbors rest of the season. I would shop Marv and see what you can get right now, just so I don't have that much rookie risk on my team. I like to kind of diversify there in that aspect. But your bench is good. I like having Aaron Jones on the bench. So, yeah, I think it's a solid team. Your receivers are elite. So, in a PPR league, half PPR, you should be a heavy contender. I appreciate you, man. Dynasty trade Benson at 26 second for Dell and Wright. Yeah, I'm doing that. Most valuable player in that deal is Dell for me. You're buying low on Dell, and so I like doing that. I like doing that in any format. Rebuild, contending, whatever, I'll do it. John, appreciate you, man. Mike Evans or Chris Olave rest of the season? Good question. I think I have Olave higher, technically. I'm going to filter by my rankings here that I did this week, rest of season rankings. I have Olave higher than Evans rest of season. So I would go Olave still. I think Olave is fine. I'm not freaking out about Olave, so appreciate it, man. Douglas, appreciate you, man. Thanks for jumping on. It's a PPR league, 12 team. You've got Lamb, Pollard, and Judy for Zay Flowers, Tyreek, Kenneth Walker, and Braylon Allen. I'm personally fine doing that. I don't feel like Lamb to Tyreek Hill is that big of a downgrade, but going from Pollard and Judy to Zay and Kenneth Walker to me is a win. So in a 12-team league especially, I'm good doing that. You feel better about starting. You're going from flexing Pollard and Judy to flexing Zay and Walker, right? And so you feel much better about doing that. And so for that reason alone, I'll do it. I like that trade. And you're buying low on Walker. Walker did log a limited practice. It was limited, but it was a practice. So I think that there's a pretty good chance he actually plays in week 4, which is really good news for my freaking Flock League team. He's doubtful, but he did return to practice, limited practice. So yeah, we'll see on that, but yeah. All right. Yasi me like. Appreciate it, man. My Puka, Marv, Ford for Mike Evans, Dylan Shuba in a PPR league. I personally not a huge fan of this because I don't know. I mean, for the most valuable player in this deal is Marvin Harrison, and it feels like you're moving Marv for Mike Evans essentially, and then Puka and Ford or Dell and Chuba. Chuba's nothing in this deal. Ford is a little bit. In terms of Puka and Dell, like I'm not sure I would really heavily prefer Tank Dell over Puka right now. Tank Dell's not doing anything, and so like if you're gonna trade Puka, you're giving away like that upside rest of the season to go and win a championship potentially. So for that reason, I feel like you could get more in a deal for Marvin. That's why I don't like it. I feel like you could get more out of somebody, if that makes sense. But appreciate it, man. All right. Yeah, make sure you guys drop a like. You can drop a super chat. I'll skip super chats. You guys skip the line if you drop a super chat. Mike, appreciate it, man. Need a win. Trevor or Gino? Leaning Gino. I personally would lean Gino as well. I think your gut is right. Go with your gut as always, but in terms of this week, surely we had Gino ranked higher, right? Yeah, we have Gino ranked higher too. So same tier, but I'm going Gino. Yeah, appreciate it, man. Chad agrees. How about those 4-0 Hoosiers? You know it. Coach Sig's a boss, dude. And I was at the game. It was hot as frick today at the game, but it was a really good time. I'm glad we got to go today. So I have season tickets, so I'm glad I got season tickets before they actually got good. Appreciate you, Evan. Connor, Olave for Cooper and Puka in a 12-team PPR 2 flex. Yeah. I personally would just keep Olave there. I personally would keep Olave. And yeah, Amari Cooper, yeah, I got you. Yeah, I would keep Olave there. I think, look, Cooper hasn't done anything. Puka is hurt. Olave, I think you'd be selling a little bit low on Olave, and so I just like holding him there. So, good question. Appreciate you, man. Michael, we appreciate you, man. PPR 1 flex. This is going to be Jennings, Khalil, D-Rob, or Singletary. Okay, so Jennings is a weird case. However, out of this group, I would probably just start Juwan Jennings. I don't want to start Khalil Herbert Singletary's technically the lead back. He's technically the only Singletary we have this week. We have so low against the Browns. I'm starting Juwan Jennings out of that group. It's a good question. It's one of the rare cases where I'm actually like, you know what? I'm comfortable just giving it a shot and going Juwan Jennings. So, appreciate you, man. Tezzy, what's up, man? Would you rather start Waddle or Pittman? I don't want to start either, but they're my next best options. Full PPR. Appreciate the feedback. Yeah, so I'm going to go with Pittman here. We do have Waddle technically ranked higher. However, we have them in the same tier. I wonder if I had them different than that. Yeah, let's go to my wide receiver rankings. I feel like I would have put Pittman above him with the injury to Tua. But the reason I want to go Pittman is because not only is Pittman the one in his offense, but also he has a healthy quarterback. And I think a lot of people are just really hesitant to start Pittman this week because of what he's done. Look, I'm worried about Pittman as well. As a Colts fan, I'm worried about Pittman. However, I do think that I'd rather start him over Waddle, who is the 2 with Skylar Thompson. So, appreciate it, man. Thanks for your super chat. Do I start Pickens or Reed if Love is back? If Love is back, that's a good question. They would be about the same for us. We have Pickens ranked 8 spots higher right now. If Love does come back, these guys would be in the same tier. I would pick your favorite. I I mean, it's Titans. It's Titans for the... I don't think Love's playing, so I'm going to go Pickens. Natasha, appreciate you, man. Thanks for your super chat. And let me know what your question is. All right. Akers, Javonte, or Juwan? I honestly... Yeah, flex play him injuries. I know, man. Me too. Honestly... I think I'm going to go Javonte here. I don't know. It's a better offense. They play the lines. Actually, I'm going to go Akers there. Forgive me. I'm going Akers. I want the guaranteed volume over Juwan Jennings. And of the two guys there, I'd rather just have the guy in the better offense. So, all right. Let's see. We got Natasha's question. No, if you got a question, let me know. But appreciate your super chat. Soul Train, what's up, man? PPR Dobbins or Moss this week? I'm going Zach Moss. These guys are polar opposite in terms of matchup. And yes, on a normal week, you'd say J.K. Dobbins with what he's been doing, no question. However, you got Dobbins going up against the Steelers and Zach Moss going up against the Commanders. The line's really high for that game. It's a really good matchup. Technically, we have Moss a tier higher. They're back-to-back, but we dropped the tier at Zach Moss. So I'll leave you with this. My gut says Moss because of the matchup, but Dobbins with what he's been doing, can you keep him out of your lineup? I'm not sure. Not sure about that. So my pick would be Moss, but that's a really close one to me. Appreciate you, man. Ryan, Dak or Goff this week? So obviously Goff in a high-scoring matchup, projected high-scoring matchup against the Cards. Dak playing the Ravens. We have Goff a tier ahead of Dak, and I think it's warranted given that the line for that game is 51.5 points. So I'll go Goff this week. I need your help. I need your guys' help in the chat because I'll just show you. This freaking quarterback situation is driving me nuts in the Flock League. So I have Jaden Daniels. I didn't start Daniels in week 1 when he had 28 points, right? I did start him last week and he had 13. Goff, on the other hand, hasn't done anything all year. However, Goff is projected to have a really good week. Do I start Jared Goff or Jaden Daniels? I switched it back to Daniels today because I feel like it's stupid with his floor. His floor we saw last week is like 13 points. He's throwing the ball okay. 10 and 16 rushing attempts in his first 2 games. I feel like it's Daniels, but what do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. Appreciate it. I need help. I need the chat to make that decision for me. Corey, how much for Bowers in the league? Pitts in a first. I have a lot of Bowers in Dynasty. One of my best moves all offseason was drafting so much Bowers. And I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to trade him. So, sorry. Pitts in a first. I wouldn't even do it. I just probably hold. So, but appreciate you, Corey. Good to see you, man. Sorry. Brandon, start 2 for flex here. And then this is going to be Robinson, Thomas, Johnson, and McConkey. I'm going to say no Justin Herbert here. I would go Brian Thomas Jr. first, and then I would go Deontay Johnson, I think. It's close between him and Robinson, but I just would prefer in a situation like this where there's a lot of unknowns with the situation, I would prefer to go the guy I know and comfortable with in Deontay Johnson. The guy I know is at least going to get targets. And it's his first week with Andy Dalton. He could pop off. So we've got Goffs. We've got Daniels. I would regret benching Daniels more. That is absolutely true. So appreciate it, man. Goff again. Dang, we're getting Goff votes. I was hoping you guys would say Daniels, but LeVar, appreciate you, man. LeVar Ball, how about that? 10-man PPR league. You have Ayuk, Garrett, Rice, Godwin, Waddle, and T. Holy smokes. I need a running back 3 behind Connor and Gibbs, who are some trade targets in coming weeks, and who do I deal? Of the guys there, Ayuk, Garrett, Rice, Godwin, Waddle, and T. The only guy you can really afford to sell right now, in my opinion, from a market standpoint, is, well, 2 of them, Rashee Rice and Chris Godwin. And I don't want to sell Rice in a 10-man. If you're going to sell Chris Godwin for a running back, I can give you some ideas here. Although I like Godwin too. I mean, why don't you deal none of those guys and deal a waiver level guy, and for running back 3, go get Zach Moss. That's what I would do. Because of those guys right there, I don't want to sell T, Waddle, Godwin, Rice, Ayuk, or Garrett. I just don't. I feel like you're selling low on some guys, and the other guys, I'm like, yeah, let's just hold. So personally, I would do something cheaper than that if you can. If you've got cheaper wide receivers, just go get Zach Moss. Just go get, I don't know, try to get B-Rob. And both of those guys are cheaper than the guys you listed there in terms of your wide receivers. So appreciate it. Yeah, look, Daniels, play it safe with Goff, Daniels, or split. Okay. I'm probably going to keep Daniels in. Matthew, what's up, man? 12-team Dynasty Superflex. Would you trade Puka for Saquon? I'm going for the chip, and I'm one running back away, plenty of wide receiver depth. Listen, I think if you do that, you're giving up quite a bit of value. I can post a poll. That's fine. I feel like you're giving up quite a bit of value there. You're selling low on Puka during an injury. These guys were separated by a lot more from a value standpoint than what you're selling for right now at the beginning of the season. You're just giving up a lot of value, and losing the value there could hurt your team long-term more than, you're not giving yourself that much of an advantage by going out and getting Saquon. Like you can only help your team win a championship so much. And so, how do I end this poll? All right, I'm dropping a poll here. So I would try to down tier for Goff plus if I would, but it's a bad time to sell Puka altogether. All right, Goff or Daniels in Flock League. I'm gonna start whoever you guys say here. So, okay, polls out. Go for it. Appreciate you, Matthew. Thanks for the super chat. But yeah, I just don't think I would. I just, from a value standpoint, I don't think I can. So, all right, I'm watching. 18, let's go. Daniels is killing. There goes Goff. All right, I think we're leaving Daniels in, it looks like, unless something crazy happens. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see if that was the right choice. But and here's the thing. I saw somebody say, play it safe with Goff, but like Daniels, I feel like his floor is so high because he's getting so many rushing attempts. That's just me though. Yeah, Daniels still winning. What's up, Tage Wang? This is start 3. Swift, Jennings, Waddle, Warren, Najee, Myers, and Dobbins, including one running back. Okay, so of the running backs here, start Dobbins. Actually, we might have Swift higher because of the Colts matchup, which is inconceivable, I know, but it's such a good matchup for Swift. Swift is my running back, and then the other two between these guys, I would go Waddle and I would go Najee. No. Swift, Dobbins, and Waddle. Those are my 3. I have both McBride and Bowers in a full PPR. Should I hold on one of them based on volume or trade one? You've got the tight end 1 and tight end 2. Congrats. That's a good problem to have. Personally, I would keep one and deal one for sure. I would probably deal away Bowers. I feel like you're going to get a ton for him right now. Just deal away whichever one you get a better deal for. I lean keeping McBride because I think he's ranked technically higher rest of the season for me, but not by much. Start 2 here, Zach Charbonnet, Pollard, and London. London. Who does Pollard play? The Packers. I'm going to go London and Sharbs there. Pollard and Charbonnet are pretty much the same for me, so definitely starting London. To half PPR, you got Olave, Devonta Smith, Connor Mays, James Conner, Jordan Mason. Should you start Marvin Harrison Jr.? Over those guys, is that what you're asking? I would start Marv. I'm starting Marv this week. I mean, it's a high-scoring matchup coming off his best week. His best week. He's had 2 weeks, but, a pretty good week. I would start him. Yeah, I mean, and again, would I start him over Olave? Yes. And would I start him over Smith? By 1 spot, yes. So for me, it's Marv, then Smith, then Olave. and then James Conner, and then Jordan Mason. You could put James Conner ahead of Olave if you want to, but appreciate you, man. Thanks for your super chat. Castro Raider, what's up, man? It's a 10-man, Mahomes, Achane Wright, CMC, Mason, Garendo, Braylon. You got Devonta, you've got London, Amari, AD Mitchell, and you've got Bowers, Andrews, and Likely. Should I start flex Likely, Andrews, Amari, or AD? I am very anti-flex tight ends unless it's a tight end premium league, and even then I'm pretty anti. So I would go Amari Cooper if I were you. That would be my pick. I definitely don't like deciding between Likely and Andrews. Hopefully one of those guys performs here pretty soon so you can kind of move off some of those tight ends. You're pretty tight end heavy there, but appreciate you. Tasha, thanks for your super chat. 10-man PPR. He gains AJ and JT. Okay. Kupp, Stevenson, and Pacheco. Yeah, no. You're going to keep AJ Brown and JT there. To me, AJ Brown and JT are both more valuable than all three of those guys in the other one. So, I wouldn't take... I would probably take AJ Brown over Kupp, Stevenson, Pacheco straight up because, I think rest of the season, you're not super sure about. Maybe not. Kupp is a little bit more valuable than Puka is, right? And so I just would heavily prefer the AJ Brown and JT side. So good question. Appreciate you, man. What's up, Lukey? Marinda, what's up? Singletary, Pittman, Shakir, in flex full point PPR. Okay, so sorry, my dog's barking. You're gonna be hearing her for a little bit. I think in a full point PPR, I'd probably just go Pittman here. Again, I would prefer Pittman over Shakir. And we have Pittman ranked higher this week, so I would go Pittman. That's my choice. Good question. Appreciate you, man. All right. Let's, we'll jump back up here. Like I said, you guys can drop a super chat and skip the line. I'm just going down and answering the questions in order that they came in. So, thoughts on trading Jerome Ford and Jalen Waddle or take the risk? No, I think with Waddle, you have to hold unless you're getting a really good deal. And with Ford, Ford probably because you saw Travis Homer now no, he's not playing this week. He's out. So I think what I would do is I would hold both those guys. I think you're going to be able to sell them higher a little bit later. So start to Swift, Ford, Akers, and Javonte. I'm going to go Swift and Akers there. Those are my faves. Let's see. Heisenberg. Love the show, man. Love Breaking Bad. PPR start one. Waddle, BTJ, or Reed if Love plays. I think either way I'm going to go Jalen Waddle here. We have him ranked. I don't know, man. We have them ranked really far apart, and I don't feel like him and Thomas should be ranked that far apart. And so I think, honestly, man, I don't know why we have Thomas ranked this low compared to Waddle. I'm going to change my rankings here drastically, and I'm going to go BTJ. What do you think, chat? You think BTJ or Waddle this week? I don't think Reed's going to matter because I don't think Love's playing, but Waddle or BTJ? I'm thinking BTJ, yeah. I think you guys, it sounds like you guys are going to agree with that. So I would go Brian Thomas there. Heisenberg. Appreciate it, man. Love the blue meth. Eddie, appreciate you, man. Would you flex Aaron Jones or Devonta Swift? Sorry, DeAndre Swift. I'm an idiot. Stream brain. I would go Swifty there. We do have Aaron Jones ranked higher. Oh, because they play the Texans. It's going to be a high-score matchup. I lied. I'd go to Aaron Jones. And then I also have CeeDee Lamb as my 1, but I need my 2. Should I start B-Rob, BTJ, or Jennings? I think here you go BTJ for sure. But I think some of the other guys are approving of that BTJ call. So, yeah. BTJ, he looks a little bit more big play dependent, so don't be surprised if he has some bust weeks as well. But I don't feel like you can keep him out of your lineups at the moment until he shows that. So, all right. Shut up, Luke. I'm going to rebuild in that league. You got lucky. All right. Let's see. I'll go back up here. Like I said, we're just taking these in the order that they came in. Choose 2 and a full point PPR, Olave, London, and Flowers. Olave and London for me. Jonathan says, in the Dynasty Rebuild, would you trade? Yeah, I think we got that one. Appreciate you, Jonathan. Zamir Steele this week. Love both matchups. I personally, I think if there's a week you're starting Zamir White, it's this week, and I have him ranked a tier higher than Steele, so I'm going to go Zamir White. Steele over Moss. I'm going to go Moss. Moss is a really good matchup, better offense, more security, getting that full workload. We don't know that's going to be true with Carson Steele. So Pitts or Fergie rest of the season? Pitts for me still. I think Pitts is, I think Pitts is not dead yet. So Juwan or Higgins? I would go Higgins. I'm personally starting Higgins this week. I think Higgins could come in and get 12 targets right away. That offense has been abysmal. They have a good matchup. I think when he's proved when he's on the field, Burrow's going to use him like that. So, I personally would just go Higgins. So, start 2 in a full PPR, ETN or Pollard or Jacobs. I'll go Jacobs and ETN there. Who should I start, JSN, Ridley, or Pittman? I think we have JSN highest of those guys. We have JSN lowest of those guys. They're all 3 in the same tier. I'd start JSN. I don't care that Jason's ranked lower. They're in the same tier. I'd start JSN. So, in a full PPR Dynasty, I can start 4 wide receivers. I have Justin Jefferson, Marvin Harrison, Neighbors. Do we trade Ayuk? Trade for Ayuk, giving up Worthy, McConkey, and Brown? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, you do. You can start 4. J-Jeff? Yes, absolutely you do that. Right? Yes. I personally, that's a smash for me. I don't know what you guys think. The only worry I have is maybe you could get more for those 3 rookies. I definitely think getting the best player in Ayuk is a good move. But, again, maybe you could get more. I don't know. Let me know. Alfred, appreciate you, man. Half point PPR. Pick 2 wide receivers here. You got Rashee Rice, Marv, and J-Mo. I would go Rashee and Marv. And then pick one running back between Swift, Ford, and Akers. I would go Swift. Swift has the best matchup this week. And you've got... yeah. And you've got Travis Homer out. So... all right. Appreciate it, man. Yeah. All right, cool. Sorry, questions are just appearing. I'm going to go based on what's still left on here. Bench 1, London, Moss, and Rashad White. I would probably just bench Moss there. Zach Moss or Jamison Williams in a half PPR. Your team's looking stacked in the Flock League. By the way, you need to clap Mason's wash squad. We're going to kill Mason's squad in week 5. Mason's one of the biggest frauds I've ever freaking seen. I cannot believe he started 2-0. It's it's one of the worst things that could have happened because his team is dog water, and he's 10th in points for. Anyways, I go J-Mo. Thoughts on my team here. You got Purdy, Saquon, Kamara, Spears, P. Ryan Gainwell. You got CD, Evans, Diggs, Shaheed, Brian Thomas Jr., Sutton, Myers, and you got McBride. Elite tight end, fairly solid quarterback in Purdy, but you've got elite running backs in Saquon and Kamara there with some, solid backup. CD, Evans, and Diggs, you're feeling really good about. And you've got Shaheed and BTJ on your bench. I think it's a really solid team. I think it's really solid. I really like it. McLaurin or Reed, I'll go McLaurin with no love. Start 2, Charbonnet, Etienne, or Neighbors. I think we did that one, but I'll go... I forget what I said. I think I said Etienne and Neighbors. So that's my pick. Appreciate your super chat. Who would you start in your running back 2 spot and then 2 flex spots? Brian Robinson, Charbonnet. Oh, Brian Robinson, yeah. Charbonnet, Akers, Ford, Higgins, and Worthy. So it's a start 3. So my running back 2, I personally would go Brian Robinson here. I think that in my rankings, I think we have Brian Robinson over Charbonnet, and I would have him slightly over Akers too. So I would just go B-Rob with the way he's been performing. And then in your 2 flex spots, I would go T. Higgins, and then I would probably go Zach Charbonnet this week. So I think Charbonnet's got quite a bit of upside this week as well with the with Kenneth Walker being out, and I think better matchup as well. He's going to get all the touches he can handle. So I would go, like I said, Brian Robinson, Charbonnet, and then Higgins for me. Again, I'm starting Higgins this week, guys. I don't know if maybe it will come back to bite me in the butt, but I'm starting him. So appreciate your super chat, man. All right. Starting Jennings over Waddle, am I crazy? Yeah, I mean, I don't think you're crazy. I personally would just start my best player, but I don't think you're crazy because, again, it could be bad there. Should I do this fantasy trade? Yeah, and I answered that one. Sorry, I did not see that, and you had a super chat again. That's totally my bad. Appreciate you. Reed, Aaron Jones and Pickens. Aaron Jones and George Pickens or Diggs, Shaheed, and P. Ryan. It's Pickens and Jones there for me. Akers or Hubbard in a half-point PPR. I'll just go Cam Akers there. Better offense, gets the full workload. Hubbard sucks, all that. You have Pitts in London. Who do I trade? I think you'd be selling low on both of them, but I would tend to you got CMC on IR. If you're going to trade one, I would prefer to trade away Kyle Pitts, but I don't know if you'll be able to get anything good for Kyle Pitts compared to where you drafted him. So should I start Jaden Daniels or Derek Carr? I still have Jaden Daniels ranked higher this week, so I think I'm going to have to go Daniels. We've got Jaden Daniels ranked at 11. We've got Carr ranked at 14. So, sorry, 10 and 13. So, yeah. Jason, appreciate your super chat, my friend. Let's see. Bench one, Goff, Carr, Richardson. So, it's a super flex. Of those guys, I would probably bench Derek Carr. Rushing upside and then high score matchup with Goff. And bench one here, Tank Dell, Laporta, Kelsey. I mean, I'd bench one of the no tight end premium. I'd definitely bench one of the tight ends. I'd probably bench Kelsey. And against the Falcons, I would go Dell and Laporta there. So I'd bench Kelsey. So PPR league. Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for your super chat. Thanks for jumping on. Would you rather have Najee, Dobbins, and Zay, okay, or Chris McCaffrey, Pacheco, and Godwin? I'd probably just take the Christian McCaffrey side there if you can get by without having to start Najee, Dobbins, and Zay. That's personally what I would do. So, Kirk, Pittman, or Dunze in PPR. I'm probably going Michael Pittman there. So, I think we have. I guess Odunze is playing. You know what? I didn't have this factored in my rankings when I did it, but Odunze is playing without Keenan Allen this week against the Colts. So, honestly, I don't blame you. I've got Odunze ranked considerably lower than those guys. Considerably lower than Michael Pittman. I'd just start Pittman. Just go Pittman. Start 2 ETN, Dobbins, and Jacobs. I go ETN and Jacobs there. It's ugly. All the tight end injuries. Should I pick up Brenton Strange for Jacksonville? Of those guys you just mentioned there, I would probably go Brenton Strange right now. So, one flex spot here. I would go... Oh, man. Daggone. How is this your flex, man? You got an 8 team? I think we have Neighbors ranked highest. Neighbors, and then there's London, and then there's... Yeah, we have Neighbors ranked highest. I'd just go Malik Neighbors there. You know you're going to get the target volume there. So, is it crazy if I start Jennings over Neighbors this week? Lots of crazies with Jennings. Yeah, I think that one's a little bit too far. I think I would just go Neighbors there. Tough matchup for Neighbors, but I'm coming off a week where he had 18 targets. I still want to start him. So, who won this trade? In a 12-man, Foreman, Judy, CeeDee Lamb, and Pollard for Tyreek Hill, Kenneth Walker. I think we did that one as well. You won that trade. Robinson, Jennings, and Shakir. Now that Kittle's out, I'd go Jennings. Worth pickup in Njoku if I've got it rest of the season. Yeah, I mean, for when Njoku comes back, I think so, yes. I have a tough dilemma here. Pollard, Adams, or B-Rob in my flex. If that's Devontae Adams, I just go Devontae Adams there in a PPR league. So, appreciate you. Shut up, Luke. I'm rebuilding. It's a rebuilding Dynasty team. He's lying to you. T. Higgins, Rashad White, or David Montgomery in a full-point PPR league. I would go T. Higgins, personally. Again, I'm starting Higgins. It could bite me. Monty's a good start because they're playing the Cardinals. It's going to be a high-scoring matchup, and Monty's been getting a good amount of work. But that's just my choice. That's my flavor of the week is going Higgins right now. So I think he could do something good in his return. But all right. Adams, Pollard, or Brian Robinson. I think Adams there. Higgins or Coleman. I would go Higgins personally. Akers, Sharp. I would go Charbonnet by hair. Same tier. Marvin Harrison Jr. and Puka for A.J. Brown. I wouldn't do that. Waddle for a first and a 25-second. Not one of the top 2 teams. And that's not enough for me to trade Waddle for that. Rams wide receivers this week, Enrico Dowdle. I don't want to start any of the Rams wide receivers this week because I'm just not sure which one of them is going to produce. So I'm just avoiding them altogether, and I'm just going to kind of wait and see. A lot of people are really convinced it's going to be Whittington. So we'll see. I'm not so convinced that Whittington's like, they're saying 10 to 12 targets. I'm like, I feel like that's pretty. Either we're just idiots and everybody else can see this and we can't, or I think that's a little bit jumping the gun in terms of like 10 to 12 targets. Like, I think everybody just assumes there's I think everybody just assumes there's another Puka, and I think that's bold. Steele or Akers and a half-point PPR for my running back too. I would go Akers there. I'd go Akers. Only guy there right now. So Tyreek Hill or AJ Brown rest of the season. Tyreek Hill. Worthy, Thielen, Pierce, Coleman, or Whittington. Just go Worthy. Juan or Higgins. Juwan or Higgins, not Juan. Higgins for me. Again, who knows how that will work out. Akers and Sharps, we got that one. Got Bowers and Kelsey. I would trade one of them. Probably just trade. The upside of trading Bowers is that you're going to get a ton in return right now. The upside of trading Kelsey is that you can keep Bowers. So just trade one of them. So Soul Assassin, appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for your super chat. This is your full PPR league, and your starters are Anthony Richardson at quarterback. You've got Jonathan Taylor and Jordan Mason. Your wide receiver position, you've got CeeDee Lamb and Stephon Diggs. And then you've got Brock Bowers at your tight end spot. You've got DJ Moore in your flex. On your bench, you've got Tank Dell. You've got George Pickens. You've got J.K. Dobbins. You've got Kareem Hunt, Aaron Jones, and Laporta. So, and also someone wants to trade Dobbins and Pickens for Christian McCaffrey. I'm 0-2. Oh, gosh. You would be sending Pickens and Dobbins? Honestly, it's not a bad deal, and you're 0-2. Oh, if you're 0-2, I don't think you can, unfortunately, because I think that's a pretty good deal from a value standpoint, but I would really want to see you be at least 1-1 to take that trade, honestly. So I think you'd probably agree with that. So in terms of your lineup this week, definitely starting AR. Taylor and Mason, I'm fine with over Aaron Jones. Diggs and CD over Pickens and Tank, I'm good with that as well. Bowers over Laporta for sure right now. And then DJ Moore would be your flex over Tank Dell, George Pickens, and DJ Moore is playing the Colts. So I personally think you've got your lineup exactly how I would set it there. And then in terms of the trade, like I said, if you were 1-1, I think you could think about making this trade because the risk is pretty low. You're basically betting that Pickens isn't going to break out and have a high-end wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 1 season, and I think that's unlikely at this point. As good as Pickens is, I'm well aware of that. I'm not Nathan. I don't hate Pickens, but in Dobbins, I'm not confident in him rest of the season. But Christian McCaffrey, I'm also not very confident in him. It could win you the league, so keep that in mind. You could do it and basically bet that you're going to win the next couple matchups. If you have an easy schedule next couple matchups, maybe you do it. It could win you the league if Christian McCaffrey comes back. I just with an 0-2 team, you're trading away 2 starters. However, they're not starters. You would still be able to. You would still have Tank Dell to plug in. You still have Aaron Jones to plug in. And then that's about it, though. That's the thing. You really only have 2 guys there you can plug in after that. So my opinion would be to stay put, but I don't blame you if you decide that that's a potential league-winning trade. So appreciate your super chat again. Thank you so much. Aaron, what's up, man? It won't let me click on it. Sorry, man. Appreciate your super chat. Let me know what your question is, and we'll get to it. But cool. All right, I'm just answering these questions in the order that they came in. Dobbins or Moss? Dobbins for me, I think. T. Higgins or Waddle this week? I would go T, personally. Goff or Dak? I'd go Goff. Myers for Johnson. I'd hold Myers there. Olave for Cooper and Puka in a 12-team. Yeah, we talked about this one. I'd just keep Olave. No way Hill over AJ Brown. I have Hill ranked higher rest of the season, so I agree with you. Not throwing Josh Johnson in your last week 3 stash video is a crime. It's true. I just feel like we talked about Downs a lot, so like I kind of want to diversify there a little bit, but we'll see. We'll see with Downs. I'm optimistic, but the Colts offense is just killing my hope. Pick 2, Ford, Akers, and Diggs. I'll go Akers and Diggs there. Let's go Texans offense. Traded Gibbs and Brian Robinson for John Pacheco in a 10 team. Yeah, Robinson was on your bench, so I think it's fine trade. You got Bijan, so I think it's fine. Likely or Ferguson? I'll start Ferguson. Marv Puka to get AJ Brown. I would hold there. I think you can get more. Ferguson over Likely. I think I agree with that. So, all right. Cooper, Neighbors, Higgins, and Thomas Jr. pick 2 for this week in a standard. A standard, okay. So, if it were me, I would go Brian Thomas. I'd go Brian Thomas and Malik Neighbors there still. That's my PPR answer too. I think there's a big enough gap between some of those guys there. So appreciate you, man. Mondo, appreciate your super chat. Kyler Achane, Mason Jefferson, Pittman, Kincaid, Flex, Dell, Shakir, bench, you got Allen, Brooks, Hubbard, Hunt, Lazard, Reed, Whittington, IR, and Pacheco. Any changes? Achane and Mason over Brooks and Allen, I'm good with. Jefferson, Pittman over Lazard, who already played. Reed without, yeah, no, I'm good with your wide receivers. Dell and Shakir over those guys, yes. Yeah, no, I think you've got the right lineup, him. I mean, all of those guys, like Braylon Allen already played. Lazard already played. Brooks is not playing. Hubbard is terrible. Hunt is not playing. He's not even on the roster. Lazard already played. Jaden Reed, no Jordan Love. And Whittington, you just don't know. So I personally think I'm rolling with your lineup there. For sure. Aaron, appreciate it, man. Starting JMO versus the Cards and London versus the Chief. What are your thoughts? JMO versus the Cards is a really good start. You've got that Vegas line sitting at 51.5 points this week. It projects to be a very high-scoring game. So I'm starting any Lion I can this week and any Cardinal. Now, London versus the Chiefs is going to be a little bit of a tougher matchup. Obviously, they're very good against wide receivers in fantasy football. But in most cases, I feel like you have to start Drake London because it's Drake London. And a lot of times what ends up happening is, you know, the gap between London and the next best guy is so big that I can't justify starting somebody over him. And so I personally think you'll be fine with London. So appreciate you, Aaron. Chris Peacock, what's up, man? Appreciate you. Trade Connor and Worthy for James Cook in a full point PPR league. You have JT. So here's the thing. Like, on paper, yes. But when you're looking at Connor, rest of season 16, Cook 9. Yeah, I'm good with that then. I think you can do it. James Cook is an upgrade for sure over Connor. In a, you know, high-powered offense, getting goal line carries. Yeah, Connor's been great. The thing with Connor is he struggled to stay on the field. And so we have to kind of keep that in mind while we make these decisions. So, and Worthy, I feel like, you know, at that level, I'm fine throwing Worthy in for something like that. But appreciate it. I like buying James Cook too. Yeah, I think I'm caught up on Super Chats. All right. Andrew's here for sure. JT for sure over Pacheco for sure. Akers or Ridley? Akers. 2 questions. Would you start Worthy or Ridley? Ridley. What do I do with Dobbins? So I got offered DJ Moore. DJ Moore is a fine offer. I'm good taking that. Maybe you could try to get more, but I'm good with DJ Moore. So I think I would take it. And I'd start Ridley. So let's see. Should I start McLaurin or Higgins in my flex from Daniel? I personally lean Higgins. I'm starting Higgins this week. So JD or AR5, I would probably go Jaden Daniels. Right? Yeah, I think I would. A full PPR. Shakir or Juwan Jennings? I'd go Juwan Jennings, I think. Oh. Let me look. I personally I guess I would probably prefer Shakir. I don't know. They're pretty much the same for me. Like, you've got Shakir in a good offense, high-scoring game, going to get plenty of targets. Same thing with Jennings. Honestly, I might just go Shakir since I know what I'm getting there. Mike Evans for AJ Brown. I have Mike. if you can afford the next couple weeks without a guy, I would take A.J. Brown there rest of the season. So Higgins or Cooper. Higgins also had a trade-off for Kupp, Allen, Sutton for Sharp and Higgins. Double flex PPR. Which side do you like? Honestly, I think it's fair. Sharp is going to lose a ton of value when Kenneth Walker comes back next week. Higgins, it's essentially Higgins for Kupp and Allen. I probably would just take Kupp and Allen if you can afford not to start Higgins, which at this point, if you are winning, you haven't been starting him anyway, so it doesn't matter. Prescott or Geno, I go Prescott. Richardson or Mayfield, I go AR. Yeah, he's taking that immediately. He's getting A.J. Brown there, and I like that. Ford Akers, Diggs, pick 2. Diggs, Akers, I think we answered that one. Which Rams wide receiver do you think will have the breakout game? I mentioned this earlier. I'm not exactly I honestly don't know. I haven't really tried to guess. My guess is nobody has a breakout game, and you just see like some solid production across the board, plus somebody who stands out a little bit because they get a touchdown. I think the betting favorite for me is Demarcus Robinson, but Daniels or Purdy, I'd go Daniels, rushing upside. So, yeah. All right. Good deal. All right, let's see. I traded Kyle Pitts and Tank Dell. I got Chase. I'm taking Chase there. Easy. That's a smash. Akers or Sharps, I'll go Sharps by a hair. Steele, Warren, or Coleman. I'd go Coleman in a full point PPR. So half PPR pick 2. We got that one, man. Just going for the ship in a 12-team Superflex. You trading Puka? Yeah, we did that one as well, and I would not do that personally. So, all right, I'm gonna do last call, and then I'm gonna jump off of here, go watch some football. But I'll do last call. So I'm going down the list if I get some of these questions, and then if you guys want to jump the line, super chats will jump it. Oh, I will answer some site questions actually while we do this. So last call for your super chats. All right. We've got a couple questions over here. Let's jump over and do these real quick. A lot of these are trades. This is going to be Calvin Ridley and Brian Robinson for Kenneth Walker in a 12-team redraft format. I would just take Kenneth Walker here. I think Kenneth Walker is going to come back sooner, and I think when he does, you're taking the best player in the deal here. So I personally would take Kenneth Walker. This is another trade. This is going to be a 12-team redraft as well. I saw a comment, actually. I need to go back and read. Running backs, if Jacob is gone, would be Mason, Moss, and Ford. So you're obviously going to be really thin at running back there. You're trading away at Jacobs, Adams, and Laporta for Jamar. And oof, this is close. I think your running backs would be so bad. I don't think you can afford to make this deal. Let me check your running backs again. You said Mason, Moss, and Ford. I don't think you can do it. I don't think you can survive with those. I don't think you can survive with those running backs. So I'm just gonna hold there. Now, if you've got your team linked, which you do, I could care less about. Well, actually, I mean, I guess the tight end swap's probably a good thing. But who else could you get back? Oh, I mean, if you look, I mean, even if we can get a Javonte in there, is there anybody else? I mean, I think I'd be okay with it if you're getting another running back like this back. So we'll give you that as an option as well. Appreciate you, man. Snubs, what's up? Looking to upgrade from Kyron. JT owner has lost Pacheco. Is this too much for JT? I also have Aaron Jones. Najee and Kyron for JT. I like it. I think it's fair. Let's add a throw in here. I mean, just see if you can get Pacheco back just to hedge your bet a little bit. So that's what I would do. And then Lando. This is start sit. Let's see. Other options for flex and tight end are T and Shakir, and you got Fant, Musgrave, Mayer, and Theo Johnson. So we're looking at your tight end here. I personally would I would roll with Theo Johnson there for tight end instead of Cade Otton. Cade Otton's been not fantasy productive at freaking all. In terms of flex, you've got Tank, Sharbs, JSN, and Neighbors. You've also got T and Shakir. And basically it's what I start T Higgins over any of these guys. I would start T. Where is T Higgins? It says here you have T Higgins, but I don't see T Higgins. Oh, there he is right there. I would flex T Higgins over Tank, and then the rest of it I'm saying the same. So, good question. All right. I think that's it on the site. Cool. Jump over and answer these final super chats real quick. Appreciate y'all so much. Thanks for supporting. Dang 12, Stranger Gasecki now that Higgins is back. I think that's a good reason to just start Strange, in my opinion. So I would go Brent Strange. No Ingram. Appreciate you. Daniel, appreciate you. Where's Daniel's question? You need to start 2 here. Akers, BTJ, Pollard, Aaron Jones in a full PPR. Okay. I'd go Brian Thomas Jr. here, and I would go Aaron Jones. Yeah, Brian Thomas and Aaron Jones are my 2. Appreciate it. Let's see. Ali says, hi there, what's up? Full PPR. Who to flex? Neighbors, Pollard, or London? I'm starting St. Brown, Harrison, Charbs, and Mason. I think we have Neighbors ranked higher than London. I would flex Neighbors there. Coming off of 18 targets again, I feel like it's hard not to flex Neighbors. So, whatever. All right, y'all. Appreciate you. I'm going to jump off, go watch some football. But thanks for jumping on. Appreciate all your super chats. Appreciate all you guys supporting more than you know. Seriously. So we'll be back tomorrow night with the playbook. We'll drop it right as soon as Sunday Night Football ends. But appreciate the heck out of you guys. So have a good night. Enjoy the games tomorrow. We'll see you here soon. Peace out.